The dink. The dink is like the whisper of pickleball. Soft, short, and strategic. It's not meant to win the point, it's meant to build the trap. You're at the kitchen line. Your opponent is too. You both start dinking. Back and forth. Forehand, backhand. Again, again, again. Then, boom. One of you blinks. Pops it just a little too high. That's the moment someone attacks. The dink is about control. You're not just hitting the ball. You're asking questions. Can your opponent stay patient? Can they stay consistent? Can they resist speeding it up? The best dinks land just over the net, bounce low, and force your opponent to lift the ball. Miss by an inch and you gift wrap a smash. Good players dink. Great players use the dink to bait mistakes. That's why the dink isn't just a shot. It's a strategy. And then there's the one thing that ruins all that careful patience. The speed up. The speed up is not polite. It doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't wait its turn. It just goes. 1 second, you're in a calm dink rally, all soft hands and patience. And then snap, your opponent flicks a forehand straight at your chest. Welcome to the chaos. This shot is called the speed up because it breaks the rhythm. It takes a soft ball and injects panic. It's most often done from the kitchen line, flicking a dink or low ball into a surprise drive. And it works best when your opponent isn't ready for it. The trick? It's not about hitting it hard, it's about hitting it early, before your opponent can reset their paddle, before they can blink, before their brain even registers that the vibe has changed. But here's the risk. If your speed up is too high or too predictable, it turns into a free point for your opponent. Think of it like poker. You don't want to go all in every hand. The best players don't just hit speed ups. They hide them until it's too late. The drop shot. You're stuck at the baseline. Your opponents are at the kitchen, ready to pounce on anything high. You could try to drive it, but let's be honest, that's how balls end up in the fence. Enter the drop shot. It's not flashy. It doesn't make crowds cheer. But it might be the most important shot in the game. The drop shot is a soft, arcing shot that lands in your opponent's kitchen, barely clearing the net, barely bouncing up. It's designed to neutralize their position and give you time to move forward. When done right, it changes everything. Now you're moving in. Now they can't attack. You've turned defense into offense without swinging for the fences. But make no mistake, this is a touch shot. You can't muscle it. You've got to feel it. Too short and it hits the net. Too deep and you just handed your opponent a free put away. Think of it like putting in golf. It doesn't look hard until you actually try to do it. In other words, the drop is easy to understand, hard to master. And the players who do, they control the flow of the game. The drive. The drop is finesse. The drive is force. When you hit a drive, you're not asking your opponent to mess up. You're telling them to survive. A drive is a powerful, low shot, usually hit from the baseline or mid-court, that skims just over the net and forces a fast reaction. It's often used on returns, third shots, or anytime someone floats you a gift too high to ignore. Think of it like a fastball in baseball. It's not about placement, it's about pressure. Hit it hard, hit it low, make them scramble. But here's the catch. Pickleball drives bounce higher than you think, and higher means attackable. That's why great players don't just hit the drive and pray. They follow it in. They drive and crash the net. Even better, mix in topspin. It makes the ball dive, bounce awkwardly, and gives you more margin over the net. Still, the drive isn't a magic trick. If your opponent is waiting with quick hands and good form, you might just be feeding them a highlight reel. So use it smart. Use it with purpose. Because when it lands clean, it feels like a mic drop. The lob. The lob is the most dramatic shot in pickleball. When it works, it's beautiful. Your opponent is scrambling backwards, arms flailing, and you've just flipped the point. When it fails, it lands short. They smash it. You duck. And your partner questions every decision that brought them to this moment. The lob is a high, arcing shot meant to go over your opponent's head, usually when they're crowding the kitchen line and leaving the backcourt wide open. It buys you time. It breaks pressure. And sometimes, it's the only option left when you're trapped in a firefight. There are two main types: defensive lobs, which you hit when you're in trouble; offensive lobs, which you hit on purpose to attack positioning. The key is disguise. If your lob looks obvious, paddle open, telegraphed movement, they'll eat it for lunch. But if you disguise it as a dink and flip it up last second, now you've got a chance. Timing matters too. Wind, sun, positioning, all of it changes whether your lob is smart or suicidal. So, is it risky? Definitely. But sometimes, risky is exactly what you need. The reset. You're in a firefight. Balls flying. Your paddle's vibrating. Your brain is doing math at 100 miles per hour. Then, suddenly, you reset. The ball floats softly into the kitchen. The pace dies. Silence. And for a second, nobody moves. That's a reset. It's the shot you use when everything's gone sideways, and you need to stop the chaos. You're off balance, out of position, or mid-sprint toward a ball that probably should have been out. But instead of panicking, you absorb the ball's energy and drop it gently into the kitchen. It's like saying, let's all take a deep breath. The reset is usually a soft block or push shot from mid-court or behind with little to no spin. The goal isn't to score, it's to survive. If you try to do too much, you're toast. But if you let the paddle do the work, suddenly you're back in the point. Great resetters don't just defend, they erase advantages. They erase mistakes. It's not a sexy shot. It won't make a highlight reel. But it wins games. And it's often the difference between looking like a genius or a giraffe on roller skates. The smash. The smash is the exclamation point. It's not subtle. It's not kind. And if you're on the receiving end, it's not fun. A smash is a high-contact overhead shot. Think of it like spiking a volleyball. It usually happens when your opponent pops the ball up just a little too much, and you jump, or just reach, and rain down justice. The best smashes don't just end points, they punish mistakes. And while it looks simple, ball goes up, you hit it down, it's surprisingly easy to mess up. Hit too flat and it sails long, hit too soon and you catch the net. Hit the person and, well, that's a whole conversation about sportsmanship. Great players don't just swing hard, they aim, they find gaps, go at feet or target shoulders. Why? Because not everyone knows how to block a missile. Also, footwork matters. If you're not set or you're smashing while moving backward, you'll miss more than you make. Smashes are most dangerous when your opponents are off balance or out of position. And when you get one, don't just swing for revenge. Swing with purpose. Because a well-placed smash, that's a mic drop with a paddle. The fake. This isn't really a shot, it's the illusion of one. The fake is what you do before you hit the ball. It's how you make your opponent think you're going to speed it up. And then you dink. Or make them lean back for a lob. And then you drop it short. It's body language, paddle angle, eye contact, timing. Great fakes are about selling a lie. One of the most common? The fake speed up. You lean in, paddle ready, eyes locked. Your opponent braces, and then soft dink. They flinch, they lift, boom, point. Or how about the fake drive into a drop? You take a big backswing like you're going full send, and then just feather it into the kitchen. That's how you create chaos in their timing. The goal of a fake isn't to win the point directly. It's to make them guess wrong. And once they start guessing, you're in control. The best players don't just hit great shots, they make you hit bad ones. That's what the fake is for. You're not just playing the ball. You're playing them, the role. Not every shot needs power. Some need shape. The roll shot is a topspin heavy attack that lifts over the net and drops quickly into the court, like a curveball dipped in maple syrup. It's soft, until it bounces. Then it kicks up, fast and high. It's most common near the kitchen. Think third shots, fifth shots, or hand battles. And when used right, it's devastating. Here's why. The roll shot walks the line between a dink and a speed up. It keeps opponents guessing. It looks soft, but bounces hard. It forces awkward contact. And because of the topspin, it can dip over the net even if it starts a little higher. That gives you more margin and fewer unforced errors. It's also great for attacking in disguise. You dink 3 times, then roll the next one right at their hip. It's not fast enough to panic them, but it's tricky enough to jam their hands. And jamming hands, that's free real estate. Rolling isn't about swinging harder. It's about brushing up the back of the ball. It's feel, it's angle, it's intent. In other words, it's what separates control players from chaos creators. The block. In pickleball, defense isn't just surviving, it's redirecting. Enter the block. The block shot is a short, controlled touch that absorbs power and drops the ball into the kitchen. It's how you turn someone's speed up into their own regret. Here's the situation. Your opponent fires a rocket at you. You don't panic. You don't swing. You just hold your paddle still. Let their power do the work. The ball rebounds off your paddle. Soft, short, low. And suddenly they're the one scrambling. That's a block. There's almost no backswing, no follow-through, just angle, timing, and soft hands. Good blocks don't float. They die in the kitchen. Because the goal isn't to counterattack, it's to neutralize. To say, nice try. Now let's slow this down. It's a shot of confidence. And the best players? They block with purpose. Forehand, backhand, midair. Every shot gets returned with calm, collected hands. And when your block is dialed in, every speed up turns into your advantage. I'm going to be posting a lot more here, so I'd be grateful if you subscribe.